Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's safe, healthy. Welcome to episode 2 of GraphCom TV. The project I assigned you, at least asked you to start thinking about, is kind of a cubist project popularized by Pablo Picasso. If you guys want to research that, you can. It's not traditionally what I'm asking you to do, a cubist piece, but it's kind of on the fringes, on the border. I'm asking you to basically take your camera and I'm asking you to shoot a figure of 4 snaps minimum of a figure or a subject, and basically whatever you capture through the viewfinder is what you're going to reassemble into one overall figure, like the sample that I showed you. So in a way, it's a bit cubist. In a way, it's something called like an exquisite corpse project. Anyway, it's a little photo project that you can make some really cool stuff out of. And once again, we would be doing this in the darkroom with black and white photography, which is way more challenging, way more fun, way more cool. But you know the situation here, folks. So following my little message here, we're going to take the Hulk and we are going to put him together using PhotoPea. So start thinking about this. I'm going to actually ask you to start shooting next week. The project will be due on May 15th. Okay, so stay safe and be well. Okay, GraphCom kids, here we go. Today we're going to be using a little bit of PhotoPea today. PhotoPea is a tool, if you do not have Photoshop, that you can create your not so cubist photo project that we've been talking about. So first things first, go to the website www.photopea.com, and then I'm going to go to the top left here where I've got a file pull down menu. These are very similar to what we have in Photoshop and what we've been talking about in GraphCom for a very long time. So we're going to say File, New, and then we're going to go again by New Project. We're going to select a width. We're going to pop up to inches, and we're going to make this 11 wide. The height is going to be 17 inches wide. And the DPI is going to be 150. And we're going to press the Create button. Boom. Okay, so you see that we've got a layers palette here down at the bottom mid-right of the screen. Layers, and we've got a layer that we can turn on and off, a background layer. Next, we need to import the images that we have shot with our camera. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to say Open and Place, Open and Place. And I've got some raw images that I shot for this project. I'm just going to select them all, and I'm going to say Open. Cool. And now you see your layers palette, in your layers palette here in the middle, it's kind of grown because every image that was placed has been assigned to its own layer. And here I have some images of the Hulk. I am a fan, and we can select it and move it with our selection tool. We can see that the bounding box control points are there, so that will allow us to scale. Remember to hold the Shift key so you get a proportional scale. If you put the cursor near the corner, it allows you to rotate, and when you're done, you can just kind of press Enter. You can turn your layers on and off by poking the eye. Ouch! Poking the eye, ouch, it disappears. Poke the eye, ouch, it reappears. So what we can do is click and go through each layer to select them, and click and drag to move them. And once again, we're poking the eye to make sure that we are working with the proper layer. You can turn layers on, turn layers off, and you can also trash layers. Just select the layer if you don't want it and to the very, very bottom right, you can hit the delete layer, little garbage can icon. Cool. So you can carry on and keep working and assembling this into a visually interesting way using only 4 of your images. Images put together and colorized as black and white, and you want to scale it and play with it to make it a little bit more interesting. Again, with the selection tool, you can move your layers around. If you want to change the arrangement of your layers, you could go to your layers palette. You could click on a given layer and you can drag upwards or downwards to change the visual arrangement of your layers. So I'm doing that right now within my layers palette. Just clicking and dragging downward to change the visual arrangement, basically sending those layers forward or backward. Okay, once you have everything positioned and rotated and scaled and make it look very interesting using only 4 of your images, we're going to convert this to black and white. If all things were normal, we would be doing this in the darkroom, but we've got to do it this way. So once you have a layer selected, you could go to follow my mouse. I'm going up to the image pull-down menu, image, adjustments, and I can scroll down to black and white. I can press OK, and now the image is black and white. Okay. I can grab this other layer, do the same thing, image, adjustment, black and white, and so on. It's interesting when you click on the image and you work with it, it still comes back to color, but then when you press enter, it remembers that you converted it to black and white. Okay, last thing. You're going to go to the background layer, which currently is white. We're going to select it, and I want you to fill that with black. So I have it selected. I'm going to go here to the bottom portion of the vertical toolbar where we've established that color to be black. I'm going to go up to my blend or my gradient tool. I'm clicking to hold it. Underneath that gradient tool is a paint bucket tool, and I'm going to fill my background with it. Once you've done that and made something really cool, remember you need to use 4 images to reassemble, just like our sample. I'm going to go File, Export, and I can export this into a variety of formats. JPEG will work for us today, and you're going to export this as a JPEG right to your desktop, and then you're going to submit it using Google Classroom. Okay, so that's it, gang. A little bit of simple PhotoPea work. Once again, you only need to use PhotoPea if you do not have Photoshop. Thanks.